This is my helmet. As you can tell on the side, I'm CJ Cronis, and I have South Park characters on it. I have Cartman on the top with checkered flags next to him. I have Stan on the other side, just looking at Kenny on the go-kart. That's getting taken away. We have Kyle with wrenches, waiting for Kenny to come around. And Arrow is my go-kart chassis manufacturer, and this is the logo. The chassis is made in Australia. As you can tell from the sunstrip, I'm part of the Arrow USA factory team, and I was with them down in Florida for the Florida Winter Tour. And my suit is a factory suit. It has the Arrow team on it. It has Bridgestone, which is a big contributor to Arrow for getting tires, and DPE is Drew Price Engineering, who is the guy who designed the chassis and keeps designing new ones. And I just have Arrow on the legs of each leg. I have the A with little flames coming off the side. MIR is the company who made the suit for Arrow, and that's my helmet, and this is my suit. And again, I'm CJ Cronis.
This is an Arrow AX9 Junior Rotax chassis. It's pretty basic. There's a brake pedal on the left side where the brake caliper is on the rotor. There's a gas pedal on the side of the motor. And we race on normal slicks made in Germany. Then you have spindles which connect the wheel to the chassis so it can turn. You have two of them. Then you have tie rods that connect the spindle to the steering column. You have two of those also. Then you have a gas tank in the middle, which has a tube running to the engine to feed it gas. You have an onboard computer that, when you're on track at any time, if it's running properly, you can get water temp from inside this radiator. You can get an exhaust gas temperature. You can get RPMs from a little clip on the spark plug wire. And you can get lap times via this little beacon. And these are the side pods. These protect, on the right side, they protect the motor and the clutch down bottom where the chain's connected to. It protects me on my right side, and then on the left side, I have one more side pod that actually protects me in a crash from when someone goes side to side, and you can actually run side to side with people. Then you have two more sets of tires. You have the motor, which is it's a two-cycle or two-stroke motor, which has one cylinder, one piston. It's got an air box for air to come in to mix with the fuel in the carburetor. And inside the carburetor, there are multiple parts that you can fine-tune to get better engine performance. Then you have a radiator, which flows water in and out to keep the motor cool. Then you have a rear sprocket or a rear gear, which can determine how fast you go and how fast you accelerate. A bigger gear will give you faster acceleration. A lower gear will give you slower acceleration, but a faster straight line speed. Then you have an axle, which the sprocket is connected to, and just drives the cart from the chain spinning around. Then you have an exhaust, which takes the exhaust from inside the motor and removes it. And then you have brakes, which stop the cart, and depending on how much pressure you apply to the brakes, it determines how fast you will stop. So that's pretty much a basic overlook of this cart and motor.